What's going on, YouTube? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm going to do another tips and tricks. People were asking for a tips and tricks going into, or after the Maman video, the little guide. So I'm going to do this now. So, tip number one is going to be holding your ranged ult as long as you can. Because that's the most poke that you're going to get and most availability you're going to be able to do for proccing. So once you go melee range, your threat pretty much goes down to none in the current meta, with tanks being how tanky they are and stuff like that. So you want to be really, really careful. So you want to basically similar to who's a good character to be similar to? Similar to like Thoth, for example, for dash. You want to hold your Thoth dash for as long as you can, and you just want to spam your ones like all the time to try to hit people, right? So just make sure you're holding your jump as long as you can until the team fight looks to be going in your favor and you're starting to play forward, and then you can dash forward. Or you want to do a combo of NATO, then jump in, and then do your combo and do everything like that. So that would be the only really thing. So your last thing before you switch is going to be getting your ult off in range stance. You're always going to want your ult off in range stance. So that's by pressing 4, and then you can choose your NATO, which is your 3. So you want to drop the NATO on someone and then full combo them going in. So that's going to be tip number 1, which is, again, hold your melee ult or melee range as long as you can. Tip number 2 is going to be knowing your abilities. I see a lot of people messing this up, or like when to use it. So for lane specifically, you're going to want to use your minions. This just allows you to clear better. It's also really frustrating for the enemy person. They have 2 pips on them, so they take 2 autos to kill, and or abilities. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the enemy can stand on this pool right here. The enemy can stand on this pool, and then it will go away. Like that, and only 2 minions will spawn. So no matter what, 2 minions will spawn, unless someone's standing on the pool. The next one is your Minotaur, which is your slow. It's very tanky. As you can tell, it takes a while to die. So that's a lot of time you're in laning phase. Your NATO in laning phase, which is your 3. So your 4-3 is your NATO, which then starts to follow people when they get closer to it. So a lot of the times in your laning phase, the NATO won't really get use unless they're coming at you. So when you're in laning phase and you see an in, you kind of want to walk at them, use your buttons, poke on them, use your Minotaur, and then jump in. Because if this dies while you're in melee stance, this becomes your passive stack right here, which is mitigation. So eating that minion makes you win the 1v1 a lot of the time. You can go heal. So that's going to be tip number 2, just utilizing your different ults to an advantage. Your 1 as well. Your 1 as well, which are these little minions. See how they have like that exclamation mark on them? You can eat them, and those become your passive as well. So those are also useful in lane. So don't be scared. Don't be scared to be in lane, playing like a 1v1 out and like going like this. And then if you've already cleared the wave, jump in on them, shoot one them, eat the minions, and then you're tankier, and then you start to win the fight. You can hold your ult to the very end if they have a CC immune thing. If you have a CC immune, or like they have a CC ability, you want to hold your ult to the end. Don't be afraid to just rip your 2s, 1s, and just kind of get in there. So that'll be that. So when you're fighting on your NATO, here, run at me. So when someone's running at you and fighting on you, that's when you want to drop NATO and drop into your melee stance, because this is going to be the most, survivability that you can have. And yeah. That's generally the time, so if someone's gonna engage on you, you want to drop NATO on your feet, jump into melee stance, use your ground ult so you have more tankiness, which is your passive. And yeah. Another thing is, just a small thing I'm sure everybody knows, if you hit someone with your ult, this does not count minions. It gives you a tick of your passive. So in team fights, if you see like a 3 stack of people, right? And you've already full kitted everything, let's say you've dumped your whole entire kit, you've used everything, you then want to jump in. If there's 3 people around, you can ult and your passive will instantly go up. So depending on how fast damage you're going to take, you can hold your ult until you look over here on your passive. Once this first passive breaks, you then want to drop your ult and then get your passive back up, and you'll be the 750 if you're jumping in as 3 people. You can go heal again. So that'll be that. Let's see, is there anything else? What else do I see people mess up? Oh, laning phase in general. It's a little bit weaker because people can, like if there's creeps right here, people can block your one and you won't be able to clear. That does happen a lot of time in the early game because Tiamat does not have a lot of damage. So if they seem to be playing that way, you want to angle, let's say, here, let's actually go to the creeps over here so I can explain this a little bit better. So for lane minions in general, oh, that sucks. So people, a lot of characters will stand like right here in their creeps and body block the creeps so I can't like hit them. Go like you're gonna clear PvP chat. So stand like around here. And then once I start charging on my one, then you want to walk in front of it like you would block melees. So he would block melees, so I'm gonna angle myself to the side so I can at least hit 1 or 2 creeps, as you saw 2 creeps died there, and then I can all in him for doing that. And then I have clear advantage because he's blocking that, and I can all in him on the way. So it's gonna be about positioning there for like how it clear and people blocking clear and stuff like that. So that'll be a laning tip. Let's see. Is there anything else? Anything else? Oh, a big, this is a small thing. This is actually a big thing I see people mess up or actually don't know. It's not really clear. So if I kill a camp in range stance. I should have. Okay, I should blow my power. So if I kill a camp in range stance, for example, right? I can pick that up in range stance, and I can pick up another buff, okay? And overlap it, right? So I pick this up in range stance, I can walk over this one, and pick it up again. But, let's say I kill green buff here. In melee stance, but this right here, you see the exclamation marks on his head? This you want to 1. You just want to press your 1 key right here, which is the slurp or the eat minion. This then gives you that buff. You now have 2 buffs. This is the only character in the game that can currently have 2 buffs. So you can't walk over and pick it up when you do this. So you have to eat the minion to pick up the buff. So again, when they have the exclamation marks, you want to press your 1 key, and you slurp it up, and you get the buff. So this works for enemy buffs, it works for your buffs. Anytime that exclamation mark is on the head, that's a guaranteed execute, and you can kill it. Killing the big minions of every single camp also give you a stack of your passive as well, when you're in melee stance. Also, small thing, when you're killing a camp, here, hit me a little bit, so I can show this. So when you're killing a camp, every single camp that you kill in range stance will heal you. And that's including your baby minions, that's including your bigger Minotaur minions that you kill, everything like that, that will kill them. Or that will heal you. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the most part. I mean, a big part of this character is utilizing your 3 and your tankiness, as you can tell here. Oops. So as you can tell, this is how tanky I am with my passive, because it's mitigation. So as long as my passive is active, that's how tanky I am. Okay? So that is 7 shots doing 18-17, okay? Because of the mitigations on my passive. So that's a big utilization point of your character. It goes away for every damage instance you take, if that's from creeps or anything. This is how it normally is. So I'm taking around 60 to 50 more a hit with my passive. So that's the same 5, right? I think. And I'm almost dead. So I'm half HP versus dead. So in the early game, you can really utilize jumping in, playing off of the enemy. I'm playing on their tower line and stuff like that. But yeah. Biggest tip I can give for Tiamat though overall to close this out is hold your dash in for as long as possible. Do not get baited by people being low or whatever. Hold your long range abilities for as long as you can, and you'll find the most success in the in Tiamat. And I hope this video has helped. The only thing I can think of is your 1 can be canceled early. You don't have to full charge your 1 every single time for a last little thing. You can shoot your 1 with 1. You can shoot your 1 with 2. You You can shoot your one with 4. That's 6. And it's shown by the blades that come up on the back of my body. You see these blades right here that show up on the back of my body? That's how many things you will shoot.
My fury is relentless.
So that's 1. That's 2. That's 4.
My fury is relentless.
And that's 6. You don't have to full charge the one all the way up to do the maximum of damage. And I'll just hover over that. And then your 2, if you hit the center twice, that's a stun. If you just hit the outside, that will not be a stun. So you can read people. They're walking in, they can walk into it and get stunned. So, yeah. That's about it, though. I hope that video helped. I hope the tips and tricks has helped. And, yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on twitch.tv/Venenu_. I stream every single day at either 6 a.m. Eastern or 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Adios, have a good one. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon, and I'll see you in the next one.